then you're losing on time. Even though the accommodation's great, you're not around the things that you want to be around. So those are my 3 travel tips. I know this vlog is probably, it's not boring because we started out strong. It just, if you watched yesterday's vlog and wonder why I'm in the same airport as I was yesterday, it's because, well, today's the new day and I'm taking a red-eye flight back to Cancun. The excitement starts, or nap time. Definitely nap time. I'm tired. Good morning.
Once again, good morning everyone and welcome aboard Delta Airlines Flight 2, Minneapolis and St. Paul.
Our connecting flight. Yeah, we're definitely going to be the last ones on the plane. Sure. I'll just need it. Perfect, thank you.
Por it. Like 199 says to food and
38.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Cancun, Mexico, where the local time is 9:59 a.m. We are way early. Please stay seated with your seatbelt fastened and carry-on items stowed until the captain has turned off the seatbelt sign.
Made it back. Hi, buddy.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good. We bought donuts and chocolate muffins.
Oh, wow. That sounds awesome.
I had half of a chocolate muffin.
You did, is it?
Mm-hmm. Not a donut, though.
Oh. I love you.
I do.
I missed you.
What should do?
I don't think you missed me at all, did you?
I did miss you.
You sure?
I'm sure.
I just woke up. It's like 5 o'clock in the afternoon, sun's setting. So I wanted to address a couple things that I learned on my travels to Las Vegas. One, I love traveling. God, just the excitement of getting on a plane is just, I don't know, you're going somewhere new adventure, new experiences, new, kind of unknowns that pop into my head. But while I was traveling, I realized a couple main things that, I think are important to bring up. And there were lessons for me, because oftentimes when, you're planning out a vacation, vacations are, it just doesn't really matter how you get there. You're gonna spend, 4 to 7 days at an all-inclusive resort, and you're just gonna party, and you're going to heaven on earth, and that's great. But for someone that is working while they're traveling, I think there's a couple of things that are super important that I did not appreciate. But I'm going to use Chase's drawing machine to kind of help explain that. 3 traveling tips. Number 1, The first lesson I learned on this trip was lesson number 1, which is time. I'm such a frugal person that I waste so much time. And when I talk about like that, my journey out to Las Vegas, I completely set myself up for failure. I worked until 2 in the morning. I had to get up at 5:30 in the morning, so I got like 3 hours of sleep. I had to take an hour-and-a-half bus ride to the airport. Then I sat in the airport for 3 hours, and then I got on a plane and I flew to Dallas, which then just had just an enormous amount of just stress, you know, because the time between the layover, you know, was like 30 minutes, and then the TSA agents f***ed up my computer, and it was horrible. And then by the time I, you know, got on the plane to Vegas, flew to Vegas, got off, got on my Uber, got into my hotel, it was like 6:30, 7 o'clock at night, and then I had to run, I had to edit, I had to do all these things that I needed to do, and I kind of chipped in on the time in Las Vegas. And that was one of the things that if I would have just spent, you know, $100 more on a better flight with a better airline, I probably would have had a better experience, and I would have saved time. If you can, so this is my suggestion for you, is you need to really evaluate what is your time worth. I got into that Frontier flight and recognized that there's no place to work. The seats are so small. The little tray table is, you know, is as big as like a soda can. You can't put your laptop. Your elbows are in other people's spaces. There's no in-flight entertainment. The seat itself is just the most uncomfortable seat in the world. And I lost time. I lost time to work on my business. I couldn't sleep, and it was just a nightmare to get there. So that's my first lesson, is know your value. Know what your time is worth and exchange it properly. If you're going on vacation, who gives a shit? You don't have to work. You know, you're going down there to party. Just have a few more beverages at the you know, the airplane lounge, and just go. It's not a big deal. But if you're doing it for business and you're trying to accomplish something, choose a better flight that's going to save you time, which in the long run is going to save you money. Travel tip number 2, and this might shock you: no one cares. No one cares how you look. No one cares how you're dressed. I showed up and I was worried. I was going to this business conference. I was, you know, this digital nomad who uses self-storage to pay for his lifestyle, to be able to film these vlogs and our travel content and be able to work on the business that we want to work on. And I showed up in flip-flops and t-shirts, and because that's all I had here in Mexico as we live. I'm not going to be wearing suits or jeans or slacks or, you know, slip-on Gucci shoes. It's just not in the cards. I was hesitant about what I was wearing, and then I realized no one cares. They're going to judge you no matter what. And even if you showed up in a $5,000 suit, they're probably going to look at me and honestly not care. And that was one of the things that I had to realize, was when I looked around, I got to be myself. I have to be my own individual person. And when I showed up to this conference and I'm walking around in jeans, flip-flops, and a comfy t-shirt, I stood out more than everyone else. Suit, tie, fancy shoes, because that's what everyone was wearing. I'm there with my vlogging camera and people wanted to talk to me. I was unique. I was someone that was, you know, was outside the norm. And so that's travel tip number 2. No one cares what you wear or what you look like. Now, tip number 3 is accommodations matter. Now you might be wondering, like, why does it matter? I'm in the place. I'm in Las Vegas. Well, if you stay 30 minutes away from the Strip, or you stay 30 minutes away from the destination that you're going to try and do, then you might as well revert back to step number 1, time. I was staying at where the conference center was at, so it took me 5 minutes to get there. And that saved me a ton of time. Now, was my accommodation great with my, you know, pipe roof / mountain view and McDonald's view? No. But what it did was it allowed me to save time. When you're thinking about traveling either for business or pleasure, understand that where you're at and what is surrounding you is important. You are going to spend a lot of time in the room, and that matters, but are the things around you what you want to do? For example, we're staying in Playa del Carmen. We could have stayed 2 miles further away from the beach, except we like going to the beach. We like going to Fifth Avenue. We want to be around the action. We want to be near stores. We want to be around things that are important to us. Now, if we you get a cheaper accommodation that's better, but it's further away, and you got to rent a car and drive in Mexico, and you got to get a license and insurance, or taxis or Ubers, or rent a scooter or buy an electric skateboard, which Caitlin won't let me buy, then you're losing on time. Even though the accommodation's great, you're not around the things that you want to be around. So those are my 3 travel tips. I know this vlog is probably, it's not boring because we started out strong. It just, I have not gotten a lot of sleep these last couple days. I thought these were important. God, the sunset's just incredible. Alright, Caitlin's calling me down for dinner. I'm very excited about this dinner because I miss my family. Like, that's another thing. Traveling, it's great. But it's good to be home. And home is wherever you are at with your family. It could be anywhere. It could be anywhere in the world. It's gotta be with your family.